Boom, boom, me, Token Vaping. How's it going? So today's juice review is, sorry, today's juice review is going to be another flavor in an additional line that I have in my rotation. As you all know, if you've watched my other videos, I'm trying to condense the amount of time that my videos take to make them a little bit easier to watch, and also to devote a little bit more time to each specific flavor. Now, that's good for the flavor, but it does tend to take a little bit longer to get through a company's line of flavors that I am able to acquire for these reviews. So every company so far that I've had the privilege and honor of working with has been very understanding of that, as long as, you know, obviously I keep doing what I'm doing. So if you guys just bear with me, you know, we'll get through this, and I'll get through the flavors as best I can to try to get you all updated on the different flavors for different lines. An easier way to stay up to date on that is that little red button down here that says subscribe. Click that, and you'll always get a notification as to when I get a new video done, which I usually try to keep on a regular basis. So with that, we're going to go with BAM! And not because the elections just happened, thank you very much. It is Secretary of Vape. Now, a couple of cool things about this line. It is a female owned and operated company. It's a little different across the board. It's nice to see. There are a couple other companies that are, but generally, you know, as a whole, obviously not that common, but that is really cool. This is their bottle. This is the flavor. Ironically, the one that I'm using is called White House, and that is a secretary showing her power of dominance over whoever, just to show that, you know, strong women, strong female. And it also says exceptional flavor, and it has the warning label and the ingredients on this side. This is a max VG, and I will get to that here in a second. And then it has the continuation of the warning labels, 30 ml bottle, 3 milligrams on this side as well. They do have a website. It's secretaryofvape.com. Now, I do have to give you a little bit of a heads up on that. If you try to just type in secretaryofvape.com, you may have trouble pulling up the website. You literally actually have to type out the www.secretaryofvape.com, and it does pull up the website a lot easier. It does have all the information that you do need on there. It does have the different flavor menus. And they are offered in a 30 and a 120 mil. And nicotine-wise, it's a 0, a 1.5, a 3, and a 6. So they do make a little bit more of an accommodation between the 0 and the 3 for people who are trying to wean off, but still need a slight bit of nicotine, but they don't go super high, which is important to me because, you know, vaping as a whole is meant to be about the experience of it, the joy of it, the enjoyment of the flavor, not how much nicotine you can suck out of a juice. So the fact that they don't go super high works for me because in general, realistically, for as high as the content of nicotine is, most people never smoke that much, you know, on a regular basis. But, you know, there's a false understanding of what that is. So that's for another day. I don't mean to get on a soapbox about that. The other cool thing about this line that I have discovered, which is really neat, you can order these flavors in 2 mix ratios. You can order it in a 70-30 for those who like a not as heavy of a vape and you want the flavor and the nicotine, you know, to punch a little bit harder. And then they also have a max VG line for those that like the heavier clouds, less or lack of a throat hit, you know, cloud chasers, things like that, which me, myself, I'm not really either. I mess around, but I do like the denser clouds and the less of a throat hit. And that's what this one is a max VG, and it does state that on the label as well. As you can see, it also is a safety wrapped bottle. I did want to show that for our first vape first review. So we're gonna bust this bottle open. It is the White House. It is supposed to be raspberry orange and key lime sherbet, so that should actually be really refreshing. And as always, I did just rewick for the video, so it is fresh, brand new. And the cotton of choice that I use, as you all know if you watch my videos, is Texas Tough Cotton. It just works really well. You know, it's not a super dense, it's not a super dense cotton. Holds flavor really well. It's easy to work with, and one thing I do like about it is that when on a fresh wick like this, you know, you don't get that really strong cottony taste until you work the juice in a bit. It's really subtle, so it does work out for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bust this open, and we will go from there. Now, as I'm opening this, just need to remind everybody, if you haven't watched my other videos, and if you have not, shame on you, but you know, nowadays everybody's doing the safety precaution because of the regulations and everything else, you know. And if you get a bottle that's supposed to have something for safety and security, whether it's a safety cap, ring, lid, flap, wrap, tape, seal, whatever it is, you know, obviously if you get it like this, you're not going to want to open it because that just seems kind of weird. But regardless of whatever it is, if anything about it makes you feel skeptical, makes you second guess it, makes you doubt it, just play it safe. Don't use it. Contact wherever you got it from, contact whoever makes it, contact whoever distributes it, contact whoever you have to contact. Let them know what's going on, and let them realize it so that they can take steps to rectify the situation and make sure that it doesn't happen again and get you a bottle in the proper form that it should be in. Because no matter what, it's about your health and safety. That's the number one important thing. So we're going to go ahead and bust this open. And on a first smell, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm actually really impressed with just the smell of this. I have vaped a couple of sherbet flavors before, and while they're really fruity, that's just it. They smell fruity. If you've ever actually opened up a container of sherbet ice cream, that literally is what this smells like. I mean, it is a dead-on sherbet flavor. I mean, that is really, really, really impressive. Although I've vaped other ones that have a really good sherbet flavor, you know, the smell of it tastes more of a fruitier, like a fruit salad almost, or a fruit mix. This literally tastes like a container of sherbet ice cream. So I'm hoping that it follows suit with it and tastes like it as well on the vape. Now, regardless of whatever I get out of this, don't take it as final wording. I'm just trying to give you a better background base of information to go off of to see if it's something that might work for you. But regardless of whether I like it or not, don't take that as the final say, because everybody's taste and preferences are different. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean you may not. I'm just trying to let you know what I get out of it, as far as taste, as far as vape, as far as things like that. And you can kind of draw your own conclusion off of that as to whether it's something you want to take a chance on and see if it's something that you may like. So I just want to get that out there. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my cap on. And as always, I am vaping at 75 watts. So this is White House from Secretary of Vape. So definite clouds. And because it is a sherbet-based flavor, it is a bit lighter, so I'm going to go ahead and juice this up just a little bit more and get... Okay. Ladies of Secretary of Vape, very, very, very well done. Not only does this smell like a container of sherbet ice cream, the taste of it is amazing. It is definitely a very crisp, a very refreshing, a very light sherbet ice cream flavor. It's supposed to be raspberry, orange, and key lime. You definitely do taste that. I would probably, for me, I'm not a fan of the raspberry, but it is not, neither of the three flavors is really strong to where it's center stage. It's a really nice blend so that you get a fruitier, just the sherbet flavor. If I was going to pick any of them out at all that sticks out, the exhale, the tail end of it, has a little bit of the key lime because that is a sharp bite of a flavor. But overall, it mixes really nicely as a whole vape, not just trying to break it down into specific flavors, which, you know, as a sherbet ice cream, it actually works. It is very, very refreshing and very light on the tongue, very light on the feel of it, but the flavor is definitely there. The vape is definitely there. The clouds are definitely there. Throat hit wise, it is so very slight. Unfortunately, like with sherbets and a light vape flavor, whether it's like a fruit or a melon or something like that, it's a lighter flavor, so the throat hit tends to be there regardless. Just because the flavor and the VG aspect of it isn't going to be heavy enough to really disguise all of that. But I mean, it is almost non-existent. I mean, it is a very, I say a light scratch. I mean, it is barely even noticeable, and it may just be because I have a fresh wick. So, but for the most part, it really isn't anything to even contend with. So if you're not a fan of the throat hit, it really isn't one here to worry about. Very, very abundant flavor. Like I said, it's very light, very crisp, very clean. Clouds are abundant. So this definitely not only smells like a sherbet, but it definitely vapes like one as well. So Secretary of Vape, great job on that. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to try this flavor of yours. Check them out at secretaryofvape.com. They're also on Instagram and Facebook, I believe. Definitely give them a check out. You know, if you work at a shop or own a shop, you know, that is a different type of label. You know, it's a colored glass, so it holds the flavor in really well. It keeps the juice from steeping too quickly or over steeping. But just on a shelf, it takes away from the normal everyday labels that you're used to seeing. You know, it is something different. That's the only line I know of that uses a background and a logo like that. So it definitely pops. Definitely check them out. Secretary of Vape, thank you so very much, guys. As always, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest. Hit me up for anything that I can do to help further enhance your vaping experience. That's the only reason why I do this. Anything that I can do to help you, just let me know and I will do everything that I can. But until next time, as always, enjoy. Thank you for watching. Vape on, vape strong, and have a good night.